Hello, welcome to the Ball Card Show. This is episode
16.
I knew it. I knew it was episode 16. I could feel it.
4 months of content stretched out over about 6 months.
That's
You're
right.
welcome.
That's right. We got places to be sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we got things to do.
But today, in this moment that you're here with us in your car, at work, at home, what other places might they be?
I hope they're not sitting on the toilet.
On the toilet? I would podcast on the toilet.
You would listen to a podcast on the toilet.
I almost made a podcast on the toilet a minute ago. We got everything set up, and we're getting ready to hit record, and I just have this like feeling deep in my soul, and it's like, oh.
That's where your soul is?
Do not trust that fart. And then I didn't. But the challenge is I live on a 5-level split, so that's a lot of steps to be clinching.
It is a lot of steps to be clinching.
And I'm a big guy. Steps are already a challenge sometimes.
Yeah. Especially
So,
after you've been on a ladder all day.
If you guys are wondering about my poop, there we go.
Yeah.
We're here, episode
You're welcome.
16. This is the Ball Card Show. I am Jason Otero.
I'm Gary LeMaster, and we're excited that you're listening.
Yeah, as always, this delectable entertainment is brought to you in part, as part of the family of the Press Play Podcast Network. If you haven't heard us talk about it, you haven't been listening very long.
Or you're jumping in 5 minutes late to the podcast. Because once we say it here, you're not going to hear it anymore.
Yeah, well, you might. We could bring it back up. It's possible.
Later in the episode?
I might.
Just randomly?
Yeah, I might do it this time. I might do it during this recording.
Okay, have
But
fun
you
with
have
that.
to be, it's the element of surprise.
Press
What
Play
was it?
Podcast Network.
Press Play Podcast Network. Check it out. They got a lot of different stuff on there. If you are any way affiliated with Cleveland sports, especially, not just that, but especially that, there is a ton of content for you.
Really
People
good
following.
content.
Yeah. Solid stuff. So check them out. But we're going to get things kicked right off. I feel like a weight's been lifted off of my shoulders. I'm feeling good. I think that this is mid-30s because right now I have two beverages in front of me. One is a Busch Light Apple, or as we said it in Southern Indiana, Busch Light. And the other is Liquid IV because I'm old and achy and sore.
Yeah, he's just got a big old mug there. So I'm just rocking the 7 o'clock at night monster because why wouldn't I?
Well, we got a big night tonight.
We do have a big night tonight. We got some
We
football
might
to
stay
watch.
up till 10:30.
Oh, you're getting crazy.
Well, you do it. I can't. You know that I can't. How many times have I repurchased a gaming console? Like, I'm going to start playing video games with the boys again, and then I make it like a week.
Yeah, and he passes out. It's still not as good as when you moved to Seaman, Ohio, and there was no Wi-Fi available, and you had to run like a 150-foot long Ethernet cable down through your house. Your wife's just angry because there's random cables running places so you could get on the Xbox.
That was Mount Orab, so the reference to Seaman, Ohio was unnecessary.
Where did you
But
live, Jason?
Geographically, that is accurate. But I lived in a lot of places, Gary.
Yeah, but you lived in Seaman, Ohio. Correct?
Yep.
If you're listening and you're from Seaman, Ohio, I apologize that you live there.
So I've never seen a town more intent on putting the name of a town on every sign for every business. We're flirting with the edge here.
We are. That's okay, though. Good times. Good times all the way around. That
Somewhere
little
out there-
rattle you're hearing is the stirring of the liquid IV.
It's my go juice.
Okay. What does that taste like?
You want to taste it?
No, not at all. I'm just
It
asking.
tastes like strawberry creamsicle.
Oh, it doesn't look that way.
Yeah, taste it. Taste it.
Guys, I don't know about what I'm
What
going to
if
try
you like
here.
all of a sudden feel like you can dunk after that? You stabbed yourself in the eye.
Yeah, I
with
did. That
this-
tastes awful.
No,
Oh,
it's not
that's
awful.
rough.
You can tell it's
That's rough.
It's like saline.
And if for some reason I ever think that at this point in my life I could dunk again, somebody just completely disavow me from that
There's
because I'll
one
hurt
word.
myself.
There's one word you wanted everybody to hear.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I used to be able to consistently. All right.
Anyway.
At one point in time, I was not a
But we're
fat
glad to
ex-athlete.
be here. We're glad to jump into this content.
What do we got? Where are we starting here, Jason?
Everybody listen. One more thing. One more thing of the witty banter is that I hope everybody's enjoying their holidays. By the time you listen to this, be getting ready for Thanksgiving. Maybe you got big plans. I don't know what you're planning.
Go to the Home Depot, maybe Bed Bath & Beyond,
Maybe.
if you have time.
Could be a big day.
Could be.
Black Friday shopping. Hate it.
Oh.
Hate it.
Oh, no, thank you. Hard
it.
pass. You want to rant, get me going on that.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
no thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump right in. Some good things are happening. We're going to do some hobby news, some things that we're finding. First one is this, and I just wrote it down exactly like this. Retail is back, question mark?
Well, the ability to find some retail is back.
Fairly consistently.
Yeah, you got to get a little bit lucky if you want like NBA stuff in NBA uniforms or NFL stuff in NFL uniforms, but you don't have to necessarily be sitting in the store 4 hours before the stock person gets there and hope for the best. I've seen consistently baseball and college uniform stuff chilling on shelves. If you want something to rip,
Just
have
chilling.
some fun with it, go grab it.
Yeah.
I walked into a Hobby Lobby tonight before I came here to podcast, and lo and behold, there were 4 select basketball hangers and 4 Donruss football hangers, and I just snagged them up.
Can I talk you up?
Sure.
Can I give you a compliment?
Absolutely. I will take it.
Because I don't do this for you often.
That's
and
fair.
Usually it's a backhanded compliment. So somewhere in here there's probably an insult, but I don't know what it is yet. But when I find it, it's going to come
It's
out.
going to be good? Yeah.
This is the first time that I'm aware of that you've found, and this isn't a massive amount. Would you find 4 of each, you said?
Yeah.
And you offered to sell me 2 at cost.
Yeah, you're my best friend. Why would I not do that?
Yeah, but I just want to go back because that felt good hearing you say that. But there are so many times that hasn't happened.
Well, I mean,
It wasn't long ago, and we're talking, this is how bad it was. Everybody was so eager to get anything NBA that like a year and a half after this rookie class was out, when NBA Hoops Premium came out,
still
I think I
getting
paid you 2.5 at it, and that was still better.
than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I gave you a deal on it, and the stuff I bought, I did. I gave you a deal.
I gave you a deal, bro. 2.5 times what I paid for it.
Yeah.
Could have been 4.
I could have sold
been
it for 4 if I'd
You're
just...
my best friend.
The stuff I
Hey,
found
guess
today,
what I'm thinking right now?
What are you thinking?
It's not appropriate for this podcast.
No, at the end of the day, though, like the stuff I found today, here's where it's coming to, and I've noticed it at some shows lately and everything else too. There are a few people that have been flipping retail product for the last 2 years that are still really trying hard to do it. But if you consistently are buying secondary market product, retail product, you're seeing the prices come way down. And that means that it's no longer worth the time for people to go sit at the store and wait. Now, is stuff going to sit on the shelves for days? No. But there's not going to be 10 people standing there waiting for stuff because there just isn't the margin in it to make it worthwhile. The guys who are flipping stuff now are using bots and buying stuff when it drops on the websites, and they're getting 100 blasters at $26 a piece, and they can make their money selling them for $35 a piece. They still make $1,000. And a year ago, those same 100 boxes would have sold for $80 a piece. So the margins aren't there anymore for anybody but the big bot flippers. So there is stuff on the shelves. I promise you, if you go to a few of your local stores, you will see some basketball cards, but they're College Uniform Chronicles stuff.
There's so much of that product out.
Oh, it's just
and when
there.
I saw it, I was like, oh my God, basketball product.
Yeah.
No way. And I was like, well, it is Chronicles. Well, it is
College uniform.
All right, I'll buy 3 boxes.
Yeah, and it's
Then I'm going to open them in my work van with no sleeves around, breaking all my own rules.
Absolutely. So that's kind of what we're seeing on that front.
We're seeing it in new places too. So one of the cool things that's come out of this incredible demand and all the inflation in sports cards and the correction and all that is you have big box stores where you didn't typically find this stuff. You're finding them Hobby Lobby, Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
So where were the is it Dollar Tree that had these packs that had 17, 18 or 18, 19 optic?
Dollar. Oh, you're talking about the blocks, the power cubes?
Yeah. No. There were these little packs that had people were pulling out like velocity rookies of Luka.
Oh, so yeah, that's a Dollar General. That was absolute basketball. I actually found probably 15 or 20, actually probably more like 25 or 30 of those over the course of a couple of weeks. They're $4 a piece, but it was well worth it. I mean, I came out ahead on it. I pulled a orange ice Kevin Porter Jr. rookie out of one.
Oh, nice.
And a Colin Sexton pink velocity out of one. I mean, I came out ahead on it.
Yeah.
And just like you did on the 2 hangers that
I did.
You came out ahead. He ripped them as soon as we got in the house.
Jamar Chase, though. I was excited
Trevor
about that.
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Shiny
Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
You know. Who did I have on the court level? Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Still a
That's a
court
pretty
level.
card.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the point is that you're able to find it. And I know that for collectors that have been doing this a while, like my dad, who is about to get Social Security if he wants it, he has been, he's always been a big Topps baseball guy. He was excited to be able to find it again. Like, he was like, just to be able to rip it. It's, again, we forget the fun sometimes with all the flip, but just the accessibility of retail. I got to get groceries, grab a pack of cards. You can do it.
Right.
You don't have to buy all of them again. Grab a pack.
Yeah, well, and like, so baseball stuff that's sitting there right now, part of the reason that baseball stuff is sitting is that this year's rookie class was a little bit underwhelming, and there's no Wander Franco. That being said, Topps Update has some ridiculous SSPs, and they actually did one of my favorite SSP inserts I've ever seen this year. They did big heads. So it's the standard card, but they photoshopped the head of the player to like 6 times its normal size. It's not a cartoon, but it's like, here's Mike Trout swinging a bat, but his head, he looks like a bobblehead.
So it's like you.
And the and the SSP,
but like not just like a normal picture.
Way better at baseball than me.
The only person that I know and you know that would more successfully pull it off is our buddy Jay.
Yeah, he would. He's naturally there.
He looks like Mega Mind.
Yeah, that's
as
true.
A kid, especially.
Oh,
he's kind of grown into.
He's grown into the head. Yeah, and now he's a little bit more like Grimace.
Then, we're roasting everybody.
Absolutely.
Who wants some? You listening in your car? I'll roast you, bro.
Oh, I feel like Pete Davidson right now.
All right, let's go over some releases that have come out. Yesterday we had Stadium Club Chrome MLB.
Yep.
Interesting product. I've never been a huge Stadium Club guy. I'm just going to say that. I don't like the font. I'm weird about this. If I don't like the typography, I get real critical of products. I think it's the same reason that I don't like, what product is it? Absolute Football that has like the that logo is horrible. It looks like clip art from like a small evangelical denomination that I grew up in.
Here's the thing that's hilarious about Absolute Football, and I was actually having
they
this
have banger encased, all that.
They do, but so I was actually at a shop the other day that a buddy of mine owns. And we were sitting just talking, because when I go in there, I buy stuff, I sell stuff there, I buy stuff there. But a lot of times I just go in to hang out with Bill and talk hobby and catch up.
Shout out to Bill. You want to give him a shout out?
Hey, Bill, what's happening? Bill Francis down at Game Time Collectibles in Circleville, Ohio. Check him out.
That's right, Bill. Invoices in the mail for the sponsorship.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir.
I know Bill listens to the podcast, so there you go. But we were talking, and I happened to glance over, and so if you're listening and you have friends that have been longtime collectors or friends that have been longtime dealers, Bill is one of those guys that has so much stuff that he doesn't even know what he has. And it's always fun to walk into the shop and talk to him, because he'll pull out a monster box that he hasn't touched in 10 years. And he'll just start pulling stuff through it. And as soon as I walk in, he'll be like, hey, Gary, hey, Bill, come look what I found. Last summer, he found a box that had like 25 Luka rookies in it. Another one that had probably 30 Fernando Tatis Bowman first chromes, just sitting in monster boxes for years. And so it's always fun to go in and do that. But that all leads to, I was standing there talking to him, and he was showing me some stuff, and I looked over his shoulder. If you've been in the hobby for a while, you remember this, but if you're new, you don't, because Absolute is a brand that, unless it's a Kaboom, unless you hit a Kaboom or one of the other case hits, it's kind of a nobody cares very much brand, right? Absolute back in the day for Panini was their flagship high-end memorabilia product. The boxes were like briefcases, beautiful, like nice, and now it's just
weren't they the ones that would do like really nice cuts on the patches?
Oh yeah,
footballs. Like they would get all kinds of different materials that are.
Yep.
So anyway, Stadium Club. Are you a fan of that product?
So I kind of am.
I'm a fan of Chrome product.
It's not a Stadium Club in general. My thing that I love about Stadium Club is the photography. Mm-hmm. If you are a collector, you're not buying to flip. If you are a collector that likes beautiful objects, you will see the most beautiful baseball photography of any product on Stadium Club cards.
I think I'd agree with that. So if you're collecting a player, I'm a buy on singles for out of that product. So I'll have a player. The other thing, I could be wrong about this, but I feel like last time that I've opened some or been in breaks with this, are they all on-card autos or are they stickers too? I thought they were all on-card.
No, they're all on-card.
Yeah. Fun product.
Yeah, Topps doesn't do a ton of sticker autos. They've got a few things that have sticker autos, but a lot of their stuff is on-card. Yeah. Stadium Club came out
Illusions, NBA.
Yes.
Meh. But also, Huge upside when you come to hitting anything NBA. Not a huge Illusions guy.
So I'm weird in that some of the products that a lot of people think are lower end products, I tend to kind of like. Illusions Hobby, right? Not retail, but Illusions Hobby is a super cool product because every box, in addition to the packs and the guaranteed autos and stuff, has a single encased. It's not slabbed, it's not BGS, but it's encased in a one-touch and sealed by Panini. There is a single autographed card in its own special pack in every box. And I've never pulled trash out of it. I've opened a ton of that product over the years, and even stuff that would be considered trash by everybody else. Like the worst pull I ever had was my favorite pull out of Illusions in that piece. I got a Ken Anderson auto, number 210.
Yeah.
And Ken Anderson is my favorite NFL player of all time.
That's exciting. Let's move on.
Listen, Ken Anderson has been ignored by the Hall of Fame for years and should be reconsidered.
Yeah, Canton, get it right.
Get it right.
All right, let's move on. We got a lot of products to talk about. This would be one collegiate product that I can get behind, Immaculate.
Which one is it dropping? NFL?
Immaculate Collegiate Basketball.
Yeah.
I'm a fan just because those cards are gorgeous.
They're
gorgeous. The patches, just the layout, that's clean, it's crisp. It's not a ton of like borders and all this other crap you got to navigate around. Now, condition-wise, going to be some tough grades.
Well, yeah, you're not buying thick cards to grade.
Thick cards, that's one thing if you're newer to the hobby. These cards that come in that are super thick, they're great because they look really cool, like the way they can drop in a patch or whatever.
Edges and corners get
But corners are going to get wrecked. There's going to be dents all over it, and you can't hide it. Like, there's some products where, like a paper product, like Tops and some of that surface stuff you get away with because they're like, it's not going to get much better than that.
Right.
But on that stuff, you're going to get dinged on it. But for me, especially, being a big Buckeyes fan, I love anything that's got like that kind of jersey on it. So I get behind that with basketball. I'm definitely way more a football guy.
Right.
But the Immaculate, collegiate, that's one that I would check out. I would get into. Man, we got a lot that I'm not crazy about. Coming up next, Panini Classics NFL. You've liked this because there's some monster hits in it, right?
Well, in the past there have been, but they're doing it very differently this year. The configuration is very different. They haven't released this product since 2018. The only time you've seen classics in the last 3 years until now has been in Chronicles. You've seen little bits and pieces of it. But they're releasing it this year. It was online only, not a retail release, not a hobby shop distributor's release. It was online only, like Passing the Torch was last year. It's 6 cards per box. They're doing it all as Optichrome. So it's all like the optic chromium finish. And the autos are supposed to all be on card, which is different for Panini.
They changed the whole product.
Yes. So it's a really cool product. It sold out on the website so that you can't see what the price was anymore. I'm sure it'll show up on the secondary market here soon because it just dropped yesterday. So it won't get into people's hands for another 4 or 5 days.
Would you compare this product based off of what you're saying? It sounds pretty similar to like Contender's Optic.
Yes, very much so.
The price point will
retro
probably
style.
be what, like a $200 to $300 box, $150.
I would like to think that it was probably on the website at like $249.
Yeah.
So secondary market will probably be $329.
It's
a lottery
bit
product.
Of a reach.
It's still a lottery
I'd
product.
like to see what small run stuffs, the SPs and.
Well, every box is supposed to have 3 numbered parallels and then 3 base cards and 2 autographs. So
They're
6
guaranteed
cards.
2 autos.
Yeah, 6 cards, 2 autos, 3 numbered cards. So chances are at least one of your autos is going to be numbered, not base, and they're supposed to be on card. So
better odds on decent hits than Contender's Optic,
seems like
right?
a cool product.
As far as a break product, anyway.
Yeah, I'm guessing in the long run, though, value-wise, it won't hold the value because Classics has always been a brand that. Now, if you have a big card from it, you'll get value.
Because it's not going to be like as highly collected. Although them putting this in like the Optic, that chrome type of finish, that'll help it a lot. Once again, the logo, was it the pennant? It's like a pennant.
Yeah, it's very retro side. It feels like it's from the 70s, which I like.
It
but
reminds me
does.
of. Oh shoot! Now I'm forgetting that the early '90s NFL product, All Pro set.
Oh yeah, Pro set.
It's got that kind of vibe.
Pro set actually was '89 was the original release. Barry Sanders rookie was super sought after.
Yeah.
They made so much of that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of it and not a lot of good stuff. All right, moving on.
Yep.
Let's see. We got another collegiate product that I like, Flawless College Football.
So you said college basketball. Here's the thing with collegiate uniform products. None of them hold value in the way that pro uniform products do. That's just the way that it is. However, NFL college uniform stuff holds value better than NBA college uniform stuff. And I think that's because for the most part, college football fans are rabid.
And there's 100,000 of them in a stadium.
Yeah, I
every
don't
week.
know very many rabid college basketball fans. I know a lot of rabid NFL fans. So when it comes to that type of stuff, it gets a lot easier to splurge on a big product like that when you know that it's not necessarily going to kick you in the wallet. You buy an NBA collegiate flawless or immaculate product, you're going to spend $600 to $900 for that box.
Yeah.
And unless you hit and numbered under 20 of one of the top 3 or 4 picks, you lost money.
Yeah, that's true. And let's not forget, name, image, and likeness. You're going to have licensed products. You're going to have some interesting things happening in the collegiate space with players now being paid for this.
Well, you're going to eventually see it players who are still in college. So right now, the way Panini has to do it is, and Leaf and everybody else, they'll release stuff that has team logos from the colleges and all that type of stuff on it, but it can only be for players who have run out of eligibility and are out the door. Going forward, they'll be able to do it with people who are currently in school.
And it'll be a little more of that farm league Bowman vibe. I think that you're going to have a lot more prospecting.
Right. Yep.
So you're going to see collegiate uniform products even go up a little bit more, which sometimes, in my opinion, are still already overpriced. Let's move on to one that I think is a good budget, good value, good break product if you get into multiple boxes.
Okay.
Do not recommend single box breaks on this, but just the Chronicles NBA coming out on the 24th.
Yeah, that's 2020, 2021. Yep. So last year's rookie class, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, that group.
That's a fun one to break because you have, if you like parallels, if you're somebody that's a little bit nostalgic about the insert era, this is a great product for you. But again, you're going to be able to get in at a cheap price point on these breaks. I'd recommend
able to get the product pretty cheap.
Yeah, that too. I'd recommend if you're going to break something like this though, like what are you looking for? The Panini Black parallel.
We don't know what they're going to drop in. I would assume they're going to drop Prism Black for NBA, just like they did for NFL.
Prism,
I would think that they will, but there's no guarantees of that. It does look like, though, the product sell sheet does look like, at least in the hobby version, there are quite a few more different types of higher end inserts in the product this year. A little bit like Chronicles Soccer was. So Chronicles has always been a relatively low end product. But with Chronicles Soccer this year, they did like National Treasures. There were National Treasures cards in Chronicles this year for soccer. I think we'll see some more of that stuff going forward. And that releases what date?
24th.
November 24th, so next week.
Also, same day, XR football.
Oh.
I hate it.
Okay.
You like it?
I like it.
I'll tell you a product that I think it's a little bit less expensive. I could be way off on this. Where does Phoenix fall in the line on hobby pricing?
It falls right in
middle,
line with like between XR and Mosaic.
Yeah.
I like Phoenix as a product.
Yeah.
And I think they're cool looking cards. You're going to get in a hobby box quite a few numbered parallels. And it's a great stash product to me.
Yeah, stash product. Also a great product to chase like rainbow, different color variations because this isn't like the predominant, card that, this isn't, everybody's not chasing Phoenix. But this would be a great way to get some singles if there's a player you like. If there's maybe it's not a rookie, get them on the cheap. You get some really cool color variations, parallels. They're sharp looking cards.
See, that's why I like XR.
They grade pretty well, right?
Yeah. The thing you worry about on Phoenix is surface. XR is the same way, although edges do too. So XR, if you're not familiar, is not a chromium based product or a like shiny product. It's a foil product. So the faces are foil. They're a tough grade, but I like the design of the card. They've got a lot of cool inserts. It doesn't get a ton of hobby love, but again, we've talked about this before. Until the last couple of years, it was technically a more expensive product than Prism. because Prism was 12 packs of 12 cards and XR is 6 packs of 6 cards, and they were the same price point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
all right, couple December drops. We'll move through these quickly.
yep.
Up first, Bowman Draft, December 17th.
I'm all over it. I put that on there because for me, that is a huge product every year.
If you like to find cards 5 years later that are worth a lot of money,
That's why I love Bowman so much.
Open them up, find some cool stuff that's got color variations. Anything that's a first, like throw it in a penny sleeve at least, set it in a box, come back 5 years, you're a millionaire. Or maybe you have like enough to go on vacation or.
Yeah, it's very rare on a yearly basis that I don't go back through my old Bowman and make $500 to $800.
Yep.
At least.
December 22nd. This is kind of a Christmas present because everybody's going to go nuts over at Mosaic NFL.
Yep.
So that'll be super hot product.
The design on Mosaic this year is freaking awesome.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh, I'm going to show you because it is freaking awesome. Like
How awesome is it?
It's freaking awesome. It was so the last year's Mosaic I thought was the best looking product that Panini released, and I didn't even think it was close. And this year might be the same. That's the base.
Ooh, I like it.
Here's the color,
guys. What I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, it's. You guys can't see it.
Want,
we'll throw some
Connection
pictures. This is Beckett.
So a couple of websites to check out whenever new products are coming out. We always recommend, especially if you're breaking anything or getting into breaks, do the checklist. Take a look at teams, who's in there, who has some stuff that's going to be worth some value, what are the parallels. But Cardboard Connection is a good site for that. And then Beckett, which you remember if you collected for years. But they'll give you a rundown of each product. Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are going to be really cool. They cleaned it up a little bit.
Now, did they help the centering and the surface issues? We'll find out.
Let me answer that for you. No, not a chance. There's no incentive for it. Why would they spend more money on anything when they're over in a couple years?
That's true.
So, yeah, that's that. You said you had something you wanted to do today?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. So we're going to we have a special treat for you guys. We had our impromptu interview with Mrs. Otero last week, and we're going to continue that this week. Oh, no, we're going to continue that,
we don't have
and
to
I will be doing the interview this week, not you.
All right,
this isn't going to be a recurring segment all the time, but you guys are not going to be disappointed, so let's get Leslie in here.
All right.
Thank you for joining us again, and we want to pick up the interview from last week. So how did you feel after that interview last week? Did you feel attacked and just like...
I did.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was rough. Your husband was not really kind in that interview, was he?
No.
I don't want to play this game.
You guys can't hear Jason, but he's not happy with where this is going. So I wanted to follow up on that interview because an interesting development occurred this week, didn't it?
It did.
What was that development, Leslie?
Those cards that I threw in the trash.
Yeah.
The whole bag of them.
Yeah, just straight in the trash can because you didn't pay any attention at all. You just threw Jason's
Right.
stuff away. Yeah.
Yeah. They were in his car
The whole time.
the whole time.
So the turntables have turned.
They turned.
How does it feel to be so far up on the moral high ground that you can't even see the top of your husband's head?
Amazing.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
The air is just clear and clean. You can see for miles.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jason texts me a picture in the middle of the day a couple of days ago and says, oops. And there's just this picture of this bag of cards that was in his car the whole time. And his poor wife took the blame. He wasn't kind about it. He ranted to you guys about it. And the entire time, he was just an idiot.
Sitting in his car. We almost gave Victor so much boomage money because I felt guilty. But we didn't.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm
Luckily.
glad that you didn't have to dip into the joint checking account to make up for a mistake that you didn't make.
Right.
Yeah, so that we're really glad, and I'm sure the listening audience is glad to hear that you did not do anything wrong. Your husband's just dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. So now that we've cleared the air on that, I want to talk a little bit more NBA.
Okay.
The Lakers are not good.
They're terrible.
It's not good, is it?
Not good at all.
No, you got LeBron with his abdomen strained, Anthony Davis dropping 30, Russell Westbrook not being good. Carmelo Anthony being their best shooter at 84 years old?
I hate Dwight Howard so much.
Tell us why you hate Dwight Howard.
He's just not. He's just. I don't know. He has horrible hair. And
Okay, keep going.
He's not a nice player.
He's not a nice player.
No.
Define that for me.
Like he's just nasty.
Was Kobe a nice player?
Yeah.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
Did we watch the same games?
Yeah. Did he have the Mamba mentality? 100%. But was
And by the Mamba mentality, we mean he will literally shank you in your throat to win a game.
Mamba mentality.
But so he was a nice player.
He never shanked anyone in the throat.
No, but he looked like he wanted to.
That's
His own
mentality.
teammates a lot of the time.
Nah.
So the Lakers not good. The Warriors though,
Killing it.
killing it. They've lost one game, right?
One game, yeah.
Yeah. Who's the best player on that team?
They all have strengths, but Steph.
Steph's obviously the best player. Who's
Yeah.
the next best player? Because I think I want to hear your opinion on this. You guys don't realize this, and I'm going to prop Leslie up a little bit here. Leslie was a very good basketball player, so she's not talking out her rear end here. She knows what she's talking about. Go ahead.
I would say a good compliment to Steph is Draymond.
Not Jordan Poole? How do you feel about Jordan Poole?
I feel like they're similar. It's kind of the same as Klay Thompson, right? They're similar players. Klay's a little bit bigger than Steph, so he does some underneath stuff. But Draymond complements the team in ways that Steph, Poole, and Thompson won't.
Okay. All right. So I'm a big Jordan Poole guy. I think we've got some listeners that are pretty invested in Jordan Poole as well because he was a real low buy, and now he's kind of killing it. So that's good info. We were also talking a little bit earlier, talked last week with you about the Sixers and your Ben Simmons fixation and how he's kind of a head case and off the rocker now. Their new point guard, how do you feel about Tyrese Maxey?
He looks like a 12-year-old, so that bothers me a little bit.
Okay.
But he's good.
Okay.
He
I want to see if you have any idea exactly how good he is right now because he's been really, really good.
He is doing really well. I have not watched a Sixers game in a few weeks. It breaks my heart a little bit that, this whole Ben Simmons thing is happening. He got fined again, $360,000 they withheld from his paycheck because he didn't show up.
Because he's not working.
A game.
Like if we don't show up to work, our boss withholds our paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. The difference is he can afford it.
Right.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, 17.5 points a game, shooting 52% from the field.
Pretty good.
That's not bad for a second-year player that didn't play a lot last year.
Also, Seth Curry's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's really weird. So Seth Curry looks like the Benjamin Button version of his brother, right?
Very awkward. Yeah.
It is. He's like a little bit rounder face, looks very old in the face, but like physically he's like built like an NBA player. And he doesn't do anything as well as his brother, but I feel like if his name was not Curry, everybody would be like, yeah, he's a borderline all-star. But because he's Steph's brother, everybody's like, eh.
It's true. And until now, he hasn't been that consistently good.
Well, he's always been a sixth and seventh man, right? Like a
Yeah.
rotational guy. And now he's getting 25, 30 minutes a night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got to have somebody pick up the slack for the times that Embiid is hurt every third game.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like Zion. Is he ever going to be healthy?
He just got cleared for contact. He should be back in the next week or so.
And he'll be good for what? A couple weeks?
I mean, last year, once he came back, he played the rest of the year.
He's beefy this year, though.
Yeah, he does look like he spent the offseason at McDonald's,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
little thick, yeah?
Yeah.
He'll get back in the game. I mean, Luka looked like that at the beginning of last year, too.
True,
Luka
true.
looked like he ate Luka, right?
He had a bad COVID.
He had a bad COVID. That's going to be a new tagline for the Ball Card Show, guys.
It hits
He had a
people.
bad COVID.
It hits people differently.
That's all. Any other hot takes for us this week, Leslie?
LeBron still sucks, and Kobe's still the best.
So not hot takes this week, just the same takes.
That's all I got.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us again. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And you're vindicated.
Yay.
Jason is coming back in now. He's not happy about how that went. Yeah? How do you feel about all that, Jason?
The wife version of not my president.
All I know is
we don't know. I haven't gone through the boxes. We don't know if the cards are in there. We don't know. Like, I've seen Making a Murder. I've seen the depths.
So is it your contention that your wife found the cards on the island, took the cards out of the boxes, threw them away, then took the bag with the boxes in it back and put it in your car? That's your contention right now.
I'm saying.
You sound like you follow QAnon. That's what you sound like right now.
Beyond a reasonable doubt is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like we've passed a reasonable doubt.
And I haven't gone through the cards, so we don't know yet.
That is the direction you're choosing to go right now.
I just, I'm going to just go ahead and take one for the team this time.
Because you need to.
But I don't feel great because I was pretty heated last week.
You were. Like, before the podcast even started, that's why I told everybody, like, this was a legitimate rant. This was not you, like, beefing something up for the show. You were fired.
I was full-blown George Costanza.
The airing of grievances. It was Festivus time.
It was Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, let's do this before we call it a day, right? Let's talk a little bit of baseball because the awards all just came out. American League MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Shouldn't have been, but he was.
I get it.
I get it, but he still shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
That was Vlad Jr.'s award, but that's okay. NL MVP, maybe the least likable player in the MLB, Bryce Harper. Probably deserved it, but he's so unlikable.
It's a shame because I remember watching his swing as a high schooler and just saying that. So I hadn't seen someone that young get that kind of not only like the launch angle, but just the extension on the point of contact. The only other time I had seen that was how at that time you had a lot of baseball players coming out of Japan that were able to wind their entire body into the swing.
Okay.
Like you had, like Ichiro would do this. He would kind of roll his whole torso, waist, everything roll back, almost like a golf swing.
He had to because he weighed 47 pounds. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had to run out that ground ball.
Yeah.
He was getting a running start. But Bryce Harper, that was one of the things with his swing. It was just so wound up. Every swing was fully loaded without it looking like he was having to swing hard. That's what's very different with a lot of home run hitters and sluggers. Pete Alonso, when he swings hard, it looks like he strains and swings. It's
like you say I do when I swing a golf club.
Right. Yeah. You do, by the way.
Disagree.
But to see that type of a swing where it wasn't all upper body, you were seeing like some of the newer mechanics of the swing coming in. So I had high hopes. Bryce Harper's also a Buckeyes fan. Big deal to me. I think that's sweet. But then he just turns out to kind of be a turd.
He looks like a guy, not only looks like a guy who wears a man bun, but he looks like a guy who wears a man bun joyously.
Yeah, and I was going to say he would show up to a party with shutter shades.
Yeah, he's just that guy. I've said it before. He's just that guy. But he won the MVP. I knew quite a few guys who the last month were buying up Bryce Harper stuff because they felt pretty strong this was going to happen. They're going to come out okay. Cy Young Award winners, Robbie Ray in the AL and Corbin Burns in the NL. I talked about Corbin Burns about a month and a half ago. Was time to grab some of his stuff. And if you did, you're doing okay.
It wasn't Cincinnati Reds Jonathan India
Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
And Randy Arozarena in the
Which
AL.
I think both of them, NL and AL, I've got a decent stack on both of them.
So Indy is a very interesting player to me because nothing he does at this point is super flashy, but he's not bad at anything. He's plus glove, plus hit. I don't know that I'd call him plus power, but he gaps a lot of balls. He had like 40 doubles, 38 doubles. Played 150 games, which led all rookies.
A small park.
Yeah.
In a small park. I mean, you have to take that in consideration when you're starting to see extra bases on hits. Cincinnati's a pretty tight park.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference, that little 1 or 2 seconds or that turn that you make.
Yep.
It's. But
he's one of those guys that nothing he did this year screamed flash in the pan. Mm-mm. Nothing that he did this year screamed like
hype,
war leader or Mike Trout career, but nothing screamed flash in the pan. There are certain rookies you see hit. We talked about Adolis Garcia earlier in the summer, who started the year just screaming crazy, and then what did he do? Exactly what I said. I think he ended up batting .245 with 27 home runs for the year. not anything to like be upset about if you're a major league team employing the guy, but if you're investing in him, you did it wrong.
Yeah.
And then obviously Randy Arozarena, his rookie cards were all last year.
Mm-hmm.
Half of his rookie cards from Flagship were in the St. Louis Cardinals uniform, and then his update stuff was with Tampa Bay. I think the value in his stuff is going to be in the Tampa Bay uniform stuff, the update stuff. I've got a decent amount of it. I think you probably do as well.
Sent some off for grading
So
too.
yeah, that was our Major League Baseball award winners for the year. All guys that we've kind of talked up a little bit, other than Robbie Ray. That we talked up for you. Hopefully you took our advice and grabbed some of that stuff and have come out ahead. This would be the time to, especially the pitchers. This is a great time to sell Corbin Burns. 3 months from now, you'll be able to buy back and you'll keep your profit.
Yeah, if you're flipping, keep that in mind.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to look into, we talk about it next week. I want to get more information on it, but I was listening in that there is about to be some serious dollars injected into the minor league systems.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see if we can get some cool licensed product to come out of that. That's not like sponsored by the local pizza joint in that town.
Right.
That's pretty much all you get. I remember the early 90s. So for us, the Columbus Clippers, you had like Jeter, you had Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada. Like you had some early 90s minor league cards that still hold a pretty decent value. I think there's some Mariano Rivera stuff in there too.
Yep.
But it would be neat to see if there's money going in there, how that could impact the hobby and prospecting. It could make prospecting a more you're checking in more frequently than just throwing the Bowmans in the box. Like you're moving it around a little more. So we'll see. I want to look more into that so I can give you more information. But some interesting things are happening there at the minor league level. What else do we have? We're going to go watch some football, right?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to go watch some football. Everybody, next week is Thanksgiving, so have an amazing holiday with your families. If you're on your own for Thanksgiving, this sounds corny, but there are people out there. We appreciate you, and don't feel alone. There's always people out there that care. But have an awesome holiday. We will probably not be here next week with it being a holiday. It'll be the week after when we're back, and yeah.
All right.
What else you got? Anything?
I just wanted to one more time say Press Play Podcast Network.
Hey, you got it back in there. This is the Ball Card Show on
Press Play Podcast Network.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.